on to the live stream with Eddie and Robbie and Eddie. Dude, where's my regulations? And other Friday night topics. And we'd like to start off by saying Chris, AE4XO, was the first one in the chat like 3 hours ago. And he's dropped us a $2 super chat already. Thank you so much, Chris, AE4XO.
Cheers.
Wait. We got the intro image still up. But if you hit this button right here, all right, everybody. And
Thank you,
we are
XO.
drinking coffee again tonight.
Coffee.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you so much. Ooh, that's hot. Woo! Hey, well, what's happening, everybody? Out in ham radio land and beyond. Anybody on GMRS tonight? I'm GXRF LMNOP. QRSTRB 123. Well,
I stay on FRS, so I don't have to pay for that stuff.
I just use whatever I find at Walmart. I mean, geez. I didn't read the packaging. I threw it away.
No. If you read the fine print, it tells you to stay off of like channel 7 through 12.
I
blah,
didn't.
blah, blah.
I didn't read that.
Yep.
I didn't see it. Hey, just play dumb. But that's kind of what we're talking about tonight. Is kind of like playing dumb almost, really. So where is PP Man's hat? But before that, I did see that Tim, Gray Man POTA, Taco Man, which is weird because Gray Man POTA, a.k.a. Tim, just said yo, with no tacos. And we got Mike Roberge, where is his hat? And I actually have your hat in a cardboard box right now.
Whiskey Zero, Chalago Chale.
Kapow! He said, I don't play. I am dumb. Listen, I know about them bowling balls. Yeah, definitely. There are the tacos.
Them bowling balls.
I know about them bowling balls, but that's all we're going to say about that.
We're going to give away a secret.
No, absolutely not. But I do want to start off by saying thanks to these folks here. Now, for 9 months, Toby, Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta, and she has been a member of the loyal fan of the channel now for 9 months.
Wow.
And I appreciate her. She's at the loyal fan level. And so, I try to get to her emails as fast as possible. She sent me an email this week. And we do have letters tonight. We have mail, actual stamped mail coming in that we're going to read. They're going to get us a copyright infringement there if that's related to anything. But also, 6 months ago, WD4DAN, Dan, which has a YouTube channel, Front End Overload, Claude Ray, AC4SH. And I've been meaning to make a commercial for him, for us. I didn't say for him, but for us. No, I really wanted to do like something legit, like straight up Better Call Saul kind of commercial in a park. But I haven't set my mind to actually wake up early enough to go and do it.
You want a sunrise?
Not just being outside. I don't know. He did his commercials in the middle of the freaking day, but I think that would be cool to be like, have you been activating parks lately?
No.
Have you chased parks on the air today?
I haven't.
Well, today's your day. Get ready for April 6th and 7th for the Georgia Parks on the Air.
What's happening that day?
Bruh, that's like, I don't even know. I don't even have a campsite booked yet because our wives won't get together and plan it for us.
I understand the problem.
And so, Claude Ray, GeorgiaParks.org, just throwing that out right at the beginning before we lose people's interest. GeorgiaParks.org, April 6th and 7th. If you're in state or out of state and you don't activate, but you play ham radio, join us that weekend. Go ahead and register at GeorgiaParks.org as a hunter. Now, if you want to activate and you're in Georgia or anywhere near the Georgia border, we need you to activate. There's about 6 or 7 parks that need to be listed. And I'll tell you what, if I don't forget, we'll go look at it. But let's finish the list. 4 months ago, Dale Henninger, Whiskey Zero, Delta Hotel Zulu, joined as a channel member. Josh, Kilo 4, Lima, India. Also joined 4 months ago as a channel member as a loyal fan. And Michael, Kilo Echo 4, Eastern Standard Time. 4 months ago, also joined as a channel member, and thank you so much for being a channel member. And let's see. Well, into AKJ, you are you're definitely hitting on tonight.
He's stepping in what we're.
I know, right? You're already in the chip dip, bro. And then Gray Man POTA says Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie. Yes, the hens are definitely getting it the other room. We should have had them as part of the live stream because, man, that was a lot of fun the last time, but I didn't plan it that way. So if, for just a moment, we can get to tonight's main topic and go to the web. So if you'll give me just a minute, we will go to Chrome and we will click Oakley Dokley and we'll make sure that we have a freaking microphone tonight. I didn't even have to ask. Is there a microphone?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me now? But here's the deal. There is a letter floating around. Here's some other things before we get there. It is Pi Day, y'all. 3.14. As K4KOE said, we're up to 2 decimal places. 3.14. Happy Pi Day. We'll be talking a little bit about Raspberry Pi.
I mean, is that accurate enough, or yeah?
For anything I do, definitely accurate enough because I'm gonna mess it up.
Blow it up.
If I built rockets, they would blow up. That is for sure.
A RUD.
A RUD. Rapid, unplanned destruction.
No, descent.
Is it descent?
I think it's descent.
No, mine would be destruction. Absolutely. Somebody would be cleaning up my mess. Hey, we're trying not to be political tonight, but you know, what we're about to touch on is just slightly political. So the FCC opens. Y'all, I saw this from the Not a Rubicon on the Twitter or the X or the TwitX or the Twix.
It's X. It's been long enough. It's X.
I still haven't adopted it yet.
No X.
But the FCC opens in regarding delete. Into AKJ is definitely your name has slipped my mind tonight, and I don't know why I can't remember it off the top of my head. But FCC opens in delete. Listen, this is like something. Yeah, thank you, Drew, for remembering your own name. We got you, buddy. The FCC opens this email. This looks like something that would be caught in spam. For sure. This is something that would say, you have $2.8 million in your uncle's life insurance. All you have to do is send me $500 right now. And so
this email comes from someone outside of your network.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely working in the school. We see that a lot, and most of the stuff that in network goes to spam. I got one today, and it's like, have you seen this yet? I sent it 2 months ago, and I went, nope, I ain't seen it. Spam. Looked in my spam, sure enough, there it was. But this thing, you know, we're not going to go too deep into it. If you want to see, I think Ham Radio Crash Course, I think he did a pretty good one on what it really means. But listen, when I saw this, I thought it was a freaking joke. But if you go look at Not a Rubicon, yeah, I subscribe to that hot mess there. Just
we're almost that satirical.
Yes, it is. It is definitely straight up hilarious, some of the stuff that gets posted. And you know, if you're a Crumple Sneer Umpleton, you really gotta, you know, we should
say that again.
Crumple Sneer Umpleton.
I like it.
That is actually a word that my dad used as a kid. You know what? I don't even have a camera to show our faces here. I'm so sorry, y'all. But what are your feelings on the FCC just letting it turn into the Wild West out there, y'all? Go ahead and Google it if you haven't seen it. If you haven't heard this, it is legit. It is part of a lot of the deregulation, and definitely don't need 2 cams on me. Not at all. But delete. Have y'all? Who's heard of this already? Who thought it wasn't real and didn't treat it as serious? And Chris said he knew and felt like it was coming. I felt like it was on the way eventually, but I hadn't really given it any thought. I like to live like the ostrich.
Put your head in the hole.
Head in the hole in the sand. That's right. I hope this keeps me up all night. Not really. We got a ham radio meeting in Colquitt County tomorrow, and I just learned about it, even though I mentioned it on Tuesday.
What's your shirt say?
It says, "All right."
All right.
Yep. This was my work attire today. The kids had a day off today, so I had to enter some grades and all that jazz while they weren't there. It was good for all. But deregulating amateur radio. CB radio, of course, has been deregulated for a while. Go listen to some CB radio.
Super Bowl 6.
You gonna hear some mess.
All right.
Yep, 10-4, good buddy.
Good buddy.
But more than that, you hear domestic violence, arguments, and it sounds just like the ham version of 7200. And is that where we're headed? Is the question.
313.
Yeah, definitely. Constant BS is CB. Well, around here, you might hear some of that at night. During the day, you
don't hear nothing.
Not a dang
In fact,
thing.
we have a new transfer in our area from around the Miami, Florida area, and he is used to being able to work people on CB. And just the other night on our local 2-meter, he's like, "Is CB dead?" And we're like, "There's nobody using it around here, buddy."
You might hear a trucker in the middle of the day backing into one of the wood factories around here, but that's like, "I got a package of pallets bringing in there," and that's about all you're going to hear. Though I know that there's one on I-75. If you get near Tifton, there's like a truck stop or something that you can hear, the Loves or whatever.
I can remember as a kid, so we had like the CB handhelds that had the crystals in them still.
Oh, Lord.
And you could extend the radio. So at night you could hear like the announcements or the advertisements from the truck stop.
Really? Well, see, I'm not from around these parts. I'm actually from Jacksonville. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida.
City kid.
I'm a city kid. But city kid knew how to climb trees. And so I would take my CB radio that didn't have crystals. It was a Radio Shack CB. I'd jack that antenna up. Man, one time I was like, I'm really going to make this thing good. Dude, I should have told you this story a long time ago.
I might have heard it in a YouTube video one time.
I don't think I've told this one yet.
Oh.
But it was the early days of me discovering what directivity meant. I was like, I'm going to take a blown 5-inch speaker and I'm going to tear the fabric off of the front of it or the paper or whatever it is. And I'm going to hook that up to the antenna with some, you got to take that tin foil and do this number and kind of clamp it around. But I was holding the magnet of this thing with this number, trying to tune in to those far off CB stations on the roof of my house in Jacksonville, Florida, there at the beaches. Lived in Mayport. I would climb up on the roof and then climb up in the tree next. And
that was the original Earth, Moon, Earth.
It was the Earth to a semi-Earth for sure. But yeah, I would talk to people on I-95 in that tree up about 60 feet.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, not with the directional speaker antenna, but
the cone antenna.
I think that was probably tuned for like 1.2 gigahertz or something like that. It was definitely not the right dish, but I had the right idea. So God bless my little 8-year-old tail.
Before they were messed up.
Yeah, but I would get up there. That antenna was tall, dude. That antenna on that thing had to be 6 or 8 feet long. You're out there with this handy talkie that's about this size.
Oh,
but the antenna, you couldn't open it inside. It was 7 years of bad luck.
What did it take? 13 like AA batteries or something maybe?
It was 12 volts, so I think mine only took 8.
Yeah, 8. That's a lot.
It weighed like 10 pounds. I mean, it was
I
not...
had that. That was crystallized. A, B, and C was the channels on it.
Oh, no, this was a 40... Mine was a 40-channel CB. I got started with 40 channels.
It was a Radio Shack radio, though, I believe. My brother and I both had one, and like I said,
I think
A, B, and C.
it was either Radio Shack or Realistic. It was one of the two. But they came from Radio Shack in Jacksonville, Florida. You know, I that was probably one of the places that I could ask my dad to take me, and he would.
Actually, take you.
I mean, he wouldn't buy anything, but the CB radios was cool.
No, wait. Radio Shack used to have remote control cars, all kinds of cool crap.
They did have cool crap. I couldn't afford any of it, but they did have it.
Oh.
But I did do a high school or a middle school project one time, and I was actually able to buy stuff there. I bought a solderless breadboard, and I bought a speaker, not the one used on the roof. I got that from probably a busted TV when I visited my granddad there. And well, they called the back 40, and Dad knows the name of the people that used to own it, but you'd go out there and shoot TVs and all kinds of stuff, and then you'd come out with all these cool parts. And
Charged capacitors.
I never died, so we're good. We're good. He probably wouldn't let me mess with the microwaves. You never know; they can hold.
No. Speaking of microwaves, I talked to a guy this week that used whatever's in the microwave to give it the juice. It looked like a transformer.
The magnetron?
Maybe so. He would hook it to wet wood, and it would burn across, and like do wood burning.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
I wrote
cool.
it down, but I don't have it.
Now, I've seen people do that. So we've had a few comments. You know, we're really bunny trailing like a mug. Yeah, hopefully no kid. Tim mentioned the other night. I did a live stream with the kids table Wednesday night. We talked about making stuff, and that is going to be some of what we're going to talk about tonight. But one of the things was fending off the kids in their underwear walking through the kitchen. And my 9-year-old, he's about this tall. So you would have seen at least his upper body walk past as he went to the fridge back here. But he army man all the way back there. The fridge door just magically opens and he pops up back in there and gets his stuff out. So at any rate, yeah, the thing that I'm worried about, you know, is becoming that guy, the curmudgeon, that says, this is how we did it in my day. But what's going to happen if the FCC is like, hey, you know what? If you just apply for this FCC license for amateur radio, here's your free call sign. And I think that was a comment just a few minutes ago was, where'd it go? Can't find it now. Oh, yeah, it was Drew. With the way we're heading, we're not going to be using call signs if the FCC has their way. I got to thinking about that. Like, you know, what's going to happen to Parks on the Air? What's going to happen to these contests? You know, the DX single sideband contest and the worldwide contest. If you just got any old Tom, Dick, or Harry out there who's keying up saying, this is Bill in southeastern Texas. CW, yeah.
It's a thing of the past.
CW's going to hopefully, maybe nobody will go down there, but shoot, if they deregulate it and remove all of the CSRs,
regulations,
it's going to turn like the Wild West. Like I was saying earlier, is, you know, 7.025 is like where the really speed demons of CW start. You might hear, I'm afraid to make up names because it might be a name of somebody that we know, but it may be old Cletus out there in the middle of Kansas that just has 3,000 watts of transistors stacked up, and 7.025, he's like, yo, Chris, are you there? And the next thing you know, like, we're not going to be able to have our fun
and
anymore.
Then you hear East Tennessee come in loud as normal.
Yep. Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie. That's right. 73 from East Tennessee. But, you know, going to be some trying times. I don't know if are we going to be the curmudgeons? I don't know. I kind of feel in the range of, like, you know, I kind of like it that we have to take tests to get to our levels. And some people see it as a barrier to entry. But at least, you know, we're trying to, some of us are button pushers. Some of us are experimenting and doing things. I'm not saying that anything that I'm doing is, I mean, somebody else who's way higher than I am, like the WSJTX guys, you know, they're actually doing something. The real guys are out there doing these things that are furthering technology, where I'm experimenting with baby toys compared to what they're doing. And then,
I'm memorizing answers and taking a test.
Well, you know, you do with the information what you want to do with it. I'm not sitting there going, I wonder what a little stub of this coax will do to this antenna. I mean, that's on there. Yeah. So at any rate, the FCC has opened up comments. You can give your opinion. So if you'll go check out the FCC website, just Google delete with RE colon in front of it. And dear Lord, I don't even know what's been going on in the background, but I'm sure it's been interesting. Anyways, if you Google that...
So is the subject really delete?
It really is. Like, that's what I was saying. When I saw it 4 days ago, I didn't believe it was real. I thought that Not a Rubicon and Ham Radio Crash Course, I swear I cannot remember his name. I'm sucking real bad.
Crash Course?
Yeah, Ham Radio Crash Course.
Mm-hmm.
KC5H. Nope, that's somebody else.
That's Texas.
Anyways.
We're hardcore tubers, man.
Yeah, I'm real hardcore. But you can go give your opinions to that at the FCC. Josh, KI6NAS. That's right. You just had to think a minute. It doesn't help that, like, freaking gnomes and crap have been walking behind us, and I ain't been paying them a lick of attention because I'm not looking at the camera.
We're just talking.
We're just having a good old time on Friday night. So, yeah, the ham radio could go the way of the dodo bird. Who knows? Now, if you read into the actual document, it does talk about return on investment. That's not what it's called, but barrier to entry didn't mention so much barrier to entry as far as amateur radio, but it was talking more like, can small businesses be able to compete? And you know, if you look at it like that, does amateur radio and the licensing fees, is that enough revenue to keep us safe? And again, you know, going back to the barrier to entry, you know, I think that it does serve a purpose. Yes, is some of it quite outdated and people aren't using it? Yeah. Some of it is definitely like, wow, all this.
Well, most people disagree, but like not against, that's the wrong word, but I'm not into electronics like you are. I don't mind studying for the rules and the frequencies and the band, you know, but the electronics, I'm not going to build anything. So, hey, I'm a general.
And it's a freaking lot, too.
Exactly.
It's a freaking lot. But, you know, I didn't go to general or go from general to extra to rule the world or anything. I did it mainly because an extra is the only one that can give an FCC, not that it's an FCC, and we've gone over this, and is the FCC going to bring back Morse code requirement? Well, absolutely not now. But, you know, they passed the buck to the volunteer exam coordinators of amateur radio, which is the NCVEC, and you can find that information at ncvec.org. They passed it down to this group, and they're really the ones that administer these tests anyways. The FCC really doesn't even have a hand in it, which really, you know, there's not much enforcement in amateur radio, so maybe not much will change. The delete docket really is talking, I think, more about the commercial side of FCC more than it is us, amateur radio, the
is any real
FRS,
person
GMRS.
Scared of the FCC?
Yeah, nobody's scared of them.
Like recently, you've heard of like one time they've done something,
yeah.
And the dude was like hero in the fire department or something out west or something.
Yeah,
you know?
something pretty dumb. Anyways, like he should have just kept him.
Just keep your mouth shut, dude.
Mm-hmm. But at any rate, yeah, they'll crack down when they want to crack down. But for the most part, like I think that is like an aside to amateur radio, because really he was interfering with an actual
Government,
licensed
yeah.
service that
It wasn't even amateur radio
yeah,
frequencies.
and they have to pay their license fees for that junk. So, at any rate, that's where we're at right now. So that I think is pretty much all I have to say about that particular area. So you can throw your 2 cents in there. It'd be nice if you would. And if you want to read it, it is if you Google Delta Alpha, that's DA -25 -219. You can actually go read it. I do recommend, not sponsored by KI6NAS, but he does have a pretty calm, probably more calm than we are, though I don't feel like we went all curmudgeon on it.
No curmudgeon
But, it is what it is, and we get what we get. Don't pitch a fit. But the public notice is this one right here, DA 25-219 is the official write-up. But I'm telling you, this right here definitely didn't seem like it was legit at the time, but apparently this is how our government rolls these days, so you can go read through that, check out the fine print, and enjoy it if you want to. But the next thing, if we go back and look at the picture of what we had going on tonight, so if I go back, oh, nope, not slideshow, be prepared. Yes, Drew, we are definitely in the...
yes.
Yeah, we're kind of on the edge of that. We're going from the enhanced to the, you might see something 10% range, but anything could change for sure. Anything could change. But if we look at the dude, where's my regulations and other Friday night topics, we've spent about 25 minutes on that, so we're pretty much over it. But let's go celebrate some Pi Day. How about that? Happy Pi Day, everybody. So
Circle.
Yeah. If you take a circle and you wheel it, then where there's a wheel, there's a way. But it's Pi Day, so I'm going to talk about my latest Pi project, and it is, again, nothing fancy. If you want to have the weather for the United States, here's your weather for today. If you're in the South, it's pretty nice if you like destruction. If you're in the Northeast, it's about chilly, but it's still nice. If you're in the Northwest, it's probably foggy.
And rainy.
If you're in the Southwest, well, you know what? You chose to move into a dust bowl, so there you go. But it's probably still nice at some point.
Probably awesome at some point.
Yep. You got them mountains out there in the middle. But this is something that I've been working on for a little over a year. Now, if you ignore up to, let me get my orientation right. If you ignore the hours, it's kind of cool looking. But
why is the hours not?
Crosstalk. Most likely crosstalk. But yeah, it's freaking ugly when you get down to the hours. I'm pretty sure that this is crosstalk in my Raspberry Pi. But, I've got all these wires in here. If you look at the back there, not exactly the way a true engineer would do it. Oh, we have flashlight and dogs barking. But these are the GPIO, or general purpose in-outs from the Raspberry Pi over here. And so there is a data line which tells it whether it's data or if it's a command. And there's a chip select for each one of these 6. So there's 12 altogether for that. There's 2 data lines, power and ground. And everything works okay. I can tell sometimes that this really should say, I believe 21, 29, and it just said 42.
That's some change.
And this is my Raspberry Pi project I've been working on a while. It's a Nixie tube clock. These are from the China. I got these from...
Say it right.
I don't know if we're allowed to do...
China.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't sure if it was the one that we made my kids say that one time. But this one right here, I'm pretty sure there's some crosstalk between the data lines and the and the jazz. And so what happens is as it's sending to these other screens, it is also Dom, good evening.
My man.
Yeah, I said hey to you on the radio while you were chasing Peasy in earlier. I was like, hey, Dom, real quick. I don't know. My antenna wasn't tuned, so you might not have heard me, but definitely did say hi. And good to have you this evening. Eddie and I are just talking about some stuff and just hanging out. You know, it's a Friday night up in this joint. I think Fridays are my favorite day. But these two right here definitely are not functional. But what's cool is he did hear me. Awesome. I've got this pulled up on Putty, P-U-T-T-Y, which allows me to do a secure shell to the Raspberry Pi. I know this is Greek for you, and you're like, WTF. But
I got Dr. Wild Billy Houston.
yes, that is Whiskey 1 Wild Dr. Houston back there.
Mostly found on
Straight Key
Century Club lately.
Your coffee's a little stronger than mine, I think.
No.
But he's back here eating the rest of the taters. And so you notice that the clock has stopped, and that's because I stopped the script that's running. Now, it's written in C, and C or C++, it doesn't really matter. It's not fancy. It's just calling the time and then doing its thing. But I can hit go on it, and it'll reset. Just wait.
Wait, you did it off your computer?
Yeah, so see, the one works now.
That's cool, man.
So this one, you know, depending on how I have it oriented. So I've got to figure out, what am I going to do? Am I going to put some ferrite on these wires? Wait. That 2 almost looks legit. Did you know that a 2 on a Nixie tube is actually an upside down and backwards 5? So,
So she said.
Does pizza count as pie? Abso-freaking-lutely pizza counts as pie, dude. So this taters. Hey, look,
What's
Mom's
up, Mom?
here. Hey, Mom. Kyle, Alpha Zero Zulu. Good evening. You know, he's one of the top commenters on my channel.
Really? He supported you from way back. I got
way back when.
He's
you know,
always
he's
mentioned you from
he's
years ago.
He's called out the 7-Eleven has their pizza pie for $3.14. Now that's pretty good. Now, staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. This is my sister. She comes over here once a month to do some work for the hospital, but she's wearing my Skills USA hard hat. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy it, but you know what? Eddie brings the party, and when she's in town, it gets real stupid up in here.
I'm just waiting for y'all to fix my lamp.
We will fix your touch lamp at the very end. I already said that, because Ashley warned y'all that we'll probably tear it up just for the views. Who was here last week when I had my epic fail?
Me?
The Hillbilly Ham. Good evening, Kilo Echo 6, Golf Alpha Echo, the Hillbilly Ham.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening. We're drinking nice hot coffee out of our Goodwill cups that my wife purchased.
Cheers.
And we've just been having a good old time. They were curated, yes, from the Goodwill.
That's Timu talk for Goodwill.
Timu Talk is a curation. But we just got done talking about the delete, and now we're on the Happy Pi Day 3.14. So we've been going through the chat looking at what is pi. We've got a 3.14, $3.14 7-Eleven pizza. I had pizza last night, I think, so it was after I woke up from my afternoon nap. Pretty sure that it was already 3:14 Zulu time. So I have had pizza today. And then my wife got on my sister for not bringing over some pies today from the Publix. But
I like apple pie.
But the thing that I want to say about having a Raspberry Pi, and for those of you just tuning in case you missed it, I see YM. everything but the two seems to be working tonight. The rest of these numbers, the seconds are working quite well. But this is one of those things, I saw it. Facebook was really trying to get me to buy one of these $100 things, and I said, that's no fun. I just want to build it. I want to make my own pictures. These aren't my own. I stole them from Adobe, and then I deleted all of the Adobe text off of each of the numbers, and then kind of fixed it up a little bit so that it was a little bit different, and said, not commercial use. I'm stealing your pictures. So there it is. You heard it here, folks. Yes, I stole pictures from Adobe. But I love Nixie tube clocks. My wife loves my Nixie tube clocks that I build. My friend K9TIE. Dom, if you did not know,
wow,
to save money back in the day, for real Nixie tubes, they didn't make a 5. They only made a 2. And they would flip the 2 upside down and backwards for the 5. The 9 is also duplicated as a 6. So instead of making 10 digits, they only had to make, I think, 8. So the 5 and the 2 are the same, the 6 and the 9 are the same, and they would take the metal and just flip it and reverse it. So yes, it is backwards, but
it's on purpose.
he said, at my age, I'm still lucky enough that I can see. Well, you saw the difference. You saw it. But now, because this one has a little crosstalk, it's hard to see. But if you could turn that upside down,
it would be a frown.
It kind of looks like a 2 over here, even though it's backwards. And you got the 2 right here. So, yeah, it is that way on purpose. The old tubes, I should have brought mine off my computers at work. The kids like to look at them, too, and they freak out because they do crazy things. But, you know, with the Raspberry Pi, when I was on Kids Tube on Wednesday, I was talking about the maker mentality, just trying to get kids to be able to step outside of being glued to their phones like this all day long. And
you mean like this?
Yes. Like this is all they know how to do. But not to mention they have their earphones plugged in too.
I don't do that. Too old.
Silence is difficult for people. See?
It's difficult around here.
You don't normally do that in your TV land. And it's because you're going to lose the attention of people if it gets quiet, right? Right, Billy?
Absolutely. You leaving,
absolutely.
Bill?
And see,
paper. You're a doctor already.
While Dr. Bill, he's staying in school. I made fun of him last Friday because
stay in school, kids.
Stay in school so you don't have to pay those bills. That's all right. They're going to come back to get you eventually. He's back there eating some of the charcuterie board, but the maker.
Hey, squirt some of that aioli on it.
Oh, dude, have you tried the aioli sauce? Listen.
Get some meat with aioli.
My wife got some of this bacon aioli, and we are not Good Mythical Morning at all, but we do watch them. But I'm gonna tell you right here,
that's the best $1.19 she's ever spent.
What, $1.19?
It was on sale.
2 for $1.19, wasn't it? Or maybe it just says 1 at. It was good. It was really good.
I heard it fast.
Yeah, it made the sound. All right, so we're watching him make this thing. If y'all want to see, let's see. Here we go.
That facial expression of the aioli. Oh yeah, it would. That is really.
Well, it does say something about being on a hamburger.
Bacon.
Or like a BLT.
Lettuce, tomato. Thank you for your review, Dr.
Yeah,
Bill.
last night Billy and Christy made us eat a pickle flavored jelly bean.
Ugh.
They were delicious too.
It really wasn't that bad.
Was it a real Jelly Belly? They got some weird
it was a
flavors,
knockoff
man.
Jelly Belly. But
That's some
the
gross
maker
stuff,
mentality,
man.
you know, being able to sit down and conjure something up, and conjure probably sounds like a devilish word, but
Oh,
I don't mean that in the devilish way.
Conjure?
But
Conjure?
Conjure.
Okay.
To say, like, sit down and say, cool, I see that, I'm gonna make my own. And so that's what I did. I sat down. The actual program is not that difficult. It initialized it. I got most of my stuff from Adafruit as far as the code goes, and I just edited the code to fit what I needed it to do. And yes, Dom says configure, configure, configure. It's more than just configure, configure, configure. It's changed one thing. You know, any time that you're doing a test, it's one variable at the time. And so, you know, when I'm troubleshooting something to fix it, it's always start. Oh, was that the camera going out, or was that just a sound on my computer? Or was that the wall? I don't know. But you start at the wall. Is it plugged in? Is it turned on? And then you say, is the cord getting power through the cord? You know, what if somebody ran it over with a rocking chair? One thing at the time, always. So even with this thing, this clock down here is changing one thing at the time.
I did the same thing the other day, but with weaponry.
Yeah, Eddie's definitely into gun making.
I had a buddy call me. He said, dude, I need you to come over and bring your punches. He said, I added a sight to a new weapon, and it no longer functions properly. And I said, got there. I said, I'm on the way. Got there. I said, what changed? He said, I added a new red dot to this for turkey season. I said, so you changed the rail on top? Yes. I said, you screwed a screw in too deep, and sure enough, it would not function because the drilled and tapped through the receiver allowed the screw to go through too deep and was in contacting the bolt and would not function the way.
So it wasn't cycling.
No, not at all.
What'd you do? How'd you fix it?
We unscrewed the screw, just a scotch.
And it was, and the rail was still good enough.
Good enough
it was,
and functioned properly.
That's crazy that they wouldn't have made the screw just long enough. You know, actually, speaking of that, your FT.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. It wasn't the actual one in the rail. It was just like the filler one up front because it's drilled and tapped in both places for a long rail. He was only using a short piece for a little small red dot. So the one he went to plug the hole with just kind of it would just go
because
free
it didn't
flow,
it
all the
didn't
way.
have
Nothing
the
stopped.
rail there at the stop. Oh,
Yep.
okay, I got you. So it
So
was.
I could have told him over the phone instead. I drove 40 minutes and
Well, you know,
that's
you got
fine.
to
I got
hold
to
it.
see a friend. I
Yeah.
got to play with a new weapon.
So the
I got to
FTA.
sound smarter than I was.
Nah, you knew exactly what you were talking about. The FT891, if you ever look at the body of the FT891, it tells you that it takes M4 screws no bigger than, I think, 7 millimeters long or 6 millimeters long. Because if you go too far in, you're going to contact the circuit board. Kind of the same deal.
Yeah, I think you're more catastrophic on the circuit board, though.
Oh, yeah. At least his gun would have only shot one round. If
Pretty much, yes.
Unless it had enough pressure that it actually did cycle
Caused
and
the problem, but no, it
wrecked
was
the
fine.
metal.
It was just enough contact; it would not cycle.
Hey, you saved the day.
Save the day.
That's when you know your stuff. And that's the thing about making is, you know, whatever you're making, you're going to wind up knowing stuff. You know, Eddie, he works on weapons. I'm more of a electronics guy, but, you know, occasionally it bleeds over into other stuff. Like, I don't know about this touch lamp that we're going to fix in 15 minutes, but, you know, getting out there and doing it. But the next thing on the realm of making is, if we go back and look at the intro image really quick, look down at the bottom left-hand side. I don't know if we'll make it to the Arduino tonight, but we got Autodesk Tinkercad. We have Onshape, which I've never used, but I'm thinking about learning a little bit about it, just because. And then there's Fusion, which, again, is Autodesk, but on a different level. So, the, so, 3D design. That's what we're on right now. So, I don't know if he's in here anymore. He had other stuff to do, but PP Man was here tonight. Kilo Echo 8, Papa Tango X-Ray. But this is his box that he sent to Dan prior to Hurricane Helene, which made a great live stream. Had a lot of fun that night with quite a few folks. But
What's in there?
well, there's the badge from Orlando Hamcation, but it's crazy what Kilo Echo 8 Papa Tango X-Ray can do in freaking Tinkercad of all things.
Ooh, this is long spikes.
Yeah, I've been holding these for you. Dan gave them to me in Orlando about a month ago, and you were supposed to remind me last week to go get them, and I forgot
It's fine.
because it got late.
Ironically, I use this about this week. No, I'll use it Saturday, but I could push it in, so I'm good now.
This, I think, is also yours. Now, he sent me the actual files to test print, but it is amazing to me what he can do. Like, it would take me so much longer to do this. But if you do not have your, I mean, it's legit called the PP Man Spike, and I don't know why I have so many of them, but this is actually the older version. The newer version, shoot, and I took it out and then I put it back in the Jeep, I bet. But you take the string off right here. You just untie the string. If you don't have these, check out hamradioadventureguy.com. hamradioadventureguy.com. Now, I believe that if he ever watches this and actually sees this, that should count for something. You know, he keeps track. And you know what? There are some other people that I need to give a shout out tonight, too. Kilo 4 Lima, India.
Kilo 4 Lima.
KO4NLL.
Hi, that's me.
They really do keep this channel going as well. Kilo 4 Lima, India gives off stream. Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar, not off stream, on stream. Eddie does give off stream. But you take and you twist the string through here, and
Retie it.
you have a little bit of, whoa, you got to be careful what we're clicking here, but you retie that back on there.
Clickbait.
No clickbait tonight.
So it's just enough. Okay. It's better.
It's just enough that you're not, if you need to get that little extra oomph on your spike, you have a piece of metal that's got some triangles to it that you can smack with your hammer. And if you bend this, no big deal. If this, and it's going to happen, this piece right here, each of these is going to eventually fold over. But if it folds over, it's just protecting the plastic. You can still smack on it and be contacting metal. And so,
I will admit, I haven't found these long ones on Amazon. They're probably there if I looked hard. But the original short ones I found, and I ordered just spares.
I think he got these from Canada, didn't he?
Yeah, he did get these in Canada.
But they still came from China. They're somewhere out there.
I ordered some, so I've got spares that I'm using for my tie down.
Yeah, Eddie found some blue ones that I really like. Those are the ones in the Jeep. They're not the long ones.
No, they're not the long one.
You know, around here, this is probably enough. You know, the short one of these I've used at the beach, and if you dig you a small hole and then jam it down into that wet sand, now the dry sand is pretty, it's gonna fall. But if you get down to the wet sand just at the water line, it's really actually not that bad.
I can tell you the only place I've ever really needed to hammer here was at the the picnic shelter at Reed Bingham on the Cobb County side that we like. That's the hardest because everybody drives there. Everywhere else at
It's
a real
pretty
W,
compact.
at every other WMA, I've been able to take the original and just.
I bet
drive
not
it
at
in the ground.
7881. Have you tried? You haven't been out there in a while, have you?
Which one?
7881.
Oh, maybe not there.
Alapaha River.
Okay, so at the bog, I can take this thing and drive it in the ground anywhere I want to.
Yep.
But of course, there's like one road that you're allowed to drive.
7881 is covered in railroad rock. Hey, he is here. Yep. So Eddie finally got his
Thank you, PP Man.
second rev PP Spike. He doesn't have the third rev. I have the files for it, but I just haven't been printing that stuff. So thank you so much. We finally got him for Hurricane Helene from Dan, WD4DAN. He gave them to me in Orlando, And actually, you know what? There's something else too. Let me see. Is that sitting right here? Bear with me just a minute, y'all, and I'll be right back.
Bear with Rob.
He's
He's doing something.
Well, no, not really doing something, but this is what I did in my 3D stuff. So I need to try Onshape. I think that they have a free version. I do want to say that Fusion does have a hobby version, and you can get it. I think it's limited to 10 live files, which is probably enough for most people. I have a teacher version, so I use the heck out of it. But this is something that Michael Caine designed a key like this one. This is the Michael Caine. If you look on printables, this is his key in beautiful, somewhat translucent hunter green. But this is...
Let's call it emerald green.
He's colorblind.
Robbie is colorblind.
I am
everybody.
fully colorblind. We talked about that the other night at the kids' table. That was one of my fun secrets. You know, what color is your shirt? Like, I don't even know what color this is. Gray?
One of the very, very, very first times Robbie and I ever hung out, we're driving down there. He's like, dude, look at all those orange tanks. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They were green.
Yeah, we live in a very agricultural area, and I never knew what color they were, but they were green, apparently.
Not orange.
They looked orange, but, you know, this didn't take much. I printed this straight from the printables from Jonathan Caine, and Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, James, wore this thing out. And I still haven't, I don't know if anybody has the video to it. I haven't even posted any videos from him cation yet. I've been so far behind doing other stuff and projects that D's nuts fell off of his. It's late enough we could say it. But literally, he rocked this key so hard that the nuts that hold the wires to the paddles actually fell off. And I have fixed it. So now we just have to figure out, when am I going to get this back to him?
Huntsville.
That's freaking August, dude. So he's got to wait 5 more months to get this key back. I might actually be nice and do a live stream where I give one of these away in a magnificent orange, as Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie asked me to. He wanted one bad enough. He didn't even wait for me to send him the a discount, which, speaking of that, Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie, thank you for your donations last week as well. He hooked us up quite well with Super Chats last week. And so, at any rate, members do get 10% off on Whiskey1RadioCharliePapa.com. But he could not wait for me to send him an invoice. He went ahead and bought one, and I had to update my files. So last weekend, I sat here and used up some of the orange PET G that I have that I just got, and updated the files so the screw holes were right, and I upgraded the files and the instructions on printables.com. So, you know, I do spend a lot of time in the maker world for sure. So there is that. And then it's 9:53, so we're getting 7 minutes.
Speaking of the maker world, I need a mini portable monitor holder for the house.
Ah, well, I stole that from the internet. So, Eddie was in my shack earlier. Andy, no APX. Good evening. It's a pleasure to see you this evening. And thank you so much for joining with us. I was giving Eddie the rundown on the ham shack, and he gave me a screen. How long ago was that? A month ago?
About a month ago.
Maybe right after Christmas. And so what I did is I went into printables. I didn't want to design one. And if you give me a minute, I will try to. This is going to freak some of y'all out, so give me just a minute. But I'm going to go with a good old display capture. And we're going to capture this one. And you're going to get to see the OBS Studio. Holy crap. He just did his first all CW activation today.
Wait, actually, cheers.
I'm
I'll
down.
will coffee.
I'm down to the dregs, but you know, I will take care of these grounds for you.
Yep. Grounds.
Awesome, dude. That is great. How'd it go? How'd it go,
I
Andy?
need to redo my first CW activation. It's been several months since I've done one, so it'd be like doing
Yep.
the first again.
Yep. You'll be like.
Did it da da did it? Did it da da did it?
I should have
Did it
brought
da,
that
da,
too.
did
10
it?
contacts. Hey, that is an
Hey.
activation.
Absolutely, brother.
That is awesome, dude. Andy, congratulations. Wait, so you were X6100s to X6100s?
Wait.
That?
That's what I did in my first CW.
Oh, he said
activation
mostly
as well.
on the X. Well, that's even better because, dude, you had to wait on those maybe, depending on what conditions were like. That is awesome. That's an accomplishment, and it makes you proud. And there's no award for that.
Nope, but it's cool stuff.
But it is, you know, that is something you get to brag about for sure. And by bragging, you might. Ooh.
Oh, that's even better. I think.
Heck yeah, the true dude. I've been seeing that thing.
I like that thing on Amazon, man.
Well, you know, Bill KO4NLL has been tweeting. I mean, it's
He's
not
got
a.
that fancy thing.
It's a true SDX still, I think, or is it a different one?
He's got that expensive one.
Oh, he got
This is the True SX. Is like 160 on Amazon. The little orange.
It's
guy.
like the little orange
It's
one,
a kit.
DL
You
something.
can be a kid if you want to, or get it pre-built.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's a different number that Bill's been using. But give me just a minute and I'll show you where I found this. A JPC-12 antenna. I'm going to Google that before we switch screens real quick. A JPC-12. Let me see if I can remember that. JPC-12 antenna. I'm assuming that is some kind of vertical. It's sort of like the new super antenna.
Yep, very much so.
Just a different name and a lot cheaper.
Heck of a lot cheaper.
Especially if you bought it from AliExpress.
Oh. Wow.
It is not AliExpress. That's a Shelligans.
Oh, okay. About on the same plane. Sort of also
Yep.
Wolf River Coil-ish-esque.
Yep. There's quite a few of those out there, but that looks a lot more robust for sure.
I like it.
It's got a spike. It looks like it's got a grounding strap and all kinds of good
So
stuff
it comes
there.
with everything.
And
That's
a
nice.
carry bag.
Wow, that's not bad, dude.
Not bad at all. And you can run 100 watts through it, which you could do that with the new super antenna, which we haven't used in forever. All right, so I started using the bamboo printer. I had to buy it just before Christmas, and this is where a lot of my makey stuff, trying to go all QRP for now. Well, I'll tell you, Kilo Echo 8 Papa Tango X-Ray would.
You need to join the PP Man fan club.
Yep. All right, so you're going to get to see some of the OBS studio here as we fade. we've been working on around here. So they say that my QRP just left, and how in the world did I do that? Well, because I didn't have audio. Dadgummit, we did it. Well, y'all just missed one heck of a description of the. We went QRP with our audio.
How did we do that?
It was totally me, because I made a new freaking scene in RCF Orb.
Yeah.
And there's no. Well, how did I do that? Give me just a minute. I'll show y'all what I did. All right, so I faded this screen right here. Y'all better put some text and narrate this for us. But
Oh, there it is.
nope, I put it in the wrong dang spot.
Wow.
I put it in the wrong dang spot. So, we're going to try this one more time. I'm going to show y'all RCF Orb. I still...
Audio.
Yep.
Audio.
See, Andy understood the assignment. So I was showing you all what I was doing in this program, and so these are all the projects that I've been printing here lately. But we have hit that 10 o'clock hour. So this is a super glue holder for my refrigerator because I lost my super glue. Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie's base. Not base, is key, and of course I had to print several copies, iterations as I was making it better. This was last Friday night. It was about 1 or 2 in the morning when I finally finished this guy. This is the mount for the FT891, so it could swivel, so we could actually
fixed everything.
Yep, so we could close the lid. Then you got mesh-tastic stuff that I'm printing, so I can put it up on the tower. You got, these are not all fan covers. Now that you can hear me, you got the stuff that I was printing to test in the box. This is the lid hinges and all that stuff. This was what was holding the signal link, and this is what was holding that is not the tuner mount. That's actually the radio face. This is the tuner mount stuff here, the radio mount, more mesh-tastic antenna stuff. These were the replacement buttons for our mesh-tastic stuff that we just didn't get to play with tonight. My sister wanted an Oreo turtle, so I made her an Oreo turtle.
That's the awesomest thing you ever made, actually. All the cool crap you've made, that is cool.
The freaking Oreo turtle was pretty daggum cool. Not my design, but I found it in the makers, either the online models or the Maker Lab, one of the two.
You just Googled Oreo turtle?
Yeah, but this is your... No, I just Googled turtle and came across it and was like, this is cool. But this is the monitorizer that Eddie was asking me about. And it works in my shack, and he's going to want one, so I'm definitely going to make him one. But then I got to saying I probably could have designed it myself because I made something similar. This was all PP Man stuff right here, and I was making something similar to PP Man, but this is a desk mount too for an antenna. And these are the other things that I've made, and that's what's up. So if we go back to RCF Orb, you can definitely see that, wow, we got the wormhole. So, at any rate, it's been a pretty good night tonight. We appreciate y'all coming out to hang out with us as we talked about just random stuff tonight. If you don't know what Arduino is, that was the last topic. I could have done the clock with an Arduino and probably turned out okay. But because I wanted to use a Raspberry Pi, which Raspberry Pi doesn't have a real-time clock in it. Neither does an Arduino. But what Raspberry Pi has is, one, you can write programs on it and it can multitask. And two, you can check the time on the internet. And I don't have that on my I don't have that on the Arduino boards that I have. They don't have Wi-Fi capability. Although you can get some with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all that stuff. So it's been fun hanging out with y'all tonight. I know that we forgive you, Kilo 4 Lima, India. Thank you so much for the late super chat tonight, Josh. And I mean, I'm down to like straight up like
The last round.
That's all there was. To that was just.
I actually still tasted a little bit of coffee.
Smells like coffee, but it was just like clear water at that point. So at any rate, thank you so much, Josh, for hanging out with us for a minute. Check us out on Team Replay tonight, though. We talked about the delete tonight. I did give you a shout out though, and thank you for your support. And I also talked about my Raspberry Pi.
Day.
It is Raspberry Pi Day. So this is a Nixie Tube clock, digital, with IPS screens that uses the Raspberry Pi, and it was a great idea, but didn't quite turn out like I wanted to. The numbers don't quite work right, but I will. You know, you only fail when you give up, and I haven't given up yet. I put it away.
That thing's been around for a while, guys.
I think I saw it on Time Hop the other day. It's been 390, 400 days, so it's been over a year. We talked about the delete. That one was kind of fun. We talked about that one a pretty good while. We talked about making stuff.
We gave PP Man a shout out.
Yeah, PP Man. We gave him a shout out for his
Kilo
stuff.
Echo 8 Papa Tango X-Ray.
Yeah, but see,
y'all might not have heard that, but that is his call sign.
That is his real call sign, but he does also go by PP Man. And that was given to him by Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November. Pretty good friend of ours. We enjoy hanging out with him when we can and activating with him for Parks on the Air. We didn't really talk about Parks on the Air.
It's not all we do.
I mean, it's a little bit of what we do. I wanted to talk about the Bailey Sprott. We didn't make it there, but I will mention that I did get in trouble for what I'm about to show you all. So if I go back up here and I go to the slideshow, and we just go ahead and show y'all last year. No, shoot, I won last year.
It was the year before.
It was a year before. It was in 2024, but for 2023, you can see that date right there. I did make I didn't get in trouble for these. I got in trouble for because they have the POTA logo on it, and other people said, why didn't I get one? And it was because I was making these things specifically for, I don't know why that was blurry. I'm sorry about that, but where's the beef? But the cubicle quad was Charlie Golf Charlie. That's Eddie's for all the gas. And then, of course, Toby just chilling at the desk. And so I made one for Eddie 4JX, and I think that's when it went outside of the inner circle for sure. And Bill Brown's, of course. But, you know, I made these Terry's with his friggin' underwear on there. But I made all these awards for them while I had time, and there's probably more, but man, I spent a lot of time researching like what these guys were into, and so I had fun making them some special awards. And that's the thing, you know, if you're happy with something that you've done, you can make your own award. Who cares? If you enjoyed doing it, then that is rewarding.
Even if you didn't enjoy it, but you did it.
Well, you know, are you talking about your Bailey Sprott from 2 years ago when you activated every day? Yeah, definitely. Hey, I averaged one a day. That was as good as I could do. I cannot go out. I take an afternoon nap very seriously. But hey, thank you all for joining us tonight. Josh, thanks again for the super chat.
Yeah, PP's back. He's in Ohio, so he's centrally located, so don't give him too much credit tonight.
Yep, definitely so. Y'all have a great night. We will try to join y'all again on another Friday night with randomness from us. I don't think that we've been consistent enough to say that we've done one show twice. Except for maybe back in the day when we were trying to do the whole what call sign did you get, maybe.
What call sign did you get?
What call sign did you get? Hey, Tammy Faye, what y'all up to this weekend? I ain't doing that tonight. I'm going to sleep. Hey, y'all have a great night. We appreciate y'all joining in. 73, 72, or if you really have to be both, take the average, 72 and a half.